get a chance to be able to talk with you guys. So one of the things that I definitely like to discuss with you guys is probably just talk to you a little bit about pre-launch, because I know now that you guys are bringing on Travel Light, you're in the pre-launch stage there in the U.S., similar to what we were doing here in Australia. So probably just going to take a few minutes and share some of the things that we did here in Australia to try to get the market up and running, and also to develop the team. When we launched here in Australia, as you guys know, there were very few associates involved in the company, and we had the task of trying to take it out to everybody and sort of just inform them of what was happening. So being that you're in pre-launch, one of the main things I'll tell you guys have the advantage of doing, because you guys are able to rank up without customer points in pre-launch. I mean, I think you can't stress enough to your team and the people that you're introducing the business to the importance of taking advantage of this opportunity. One of the things that I always said in pre-launch is there would never be a time that the business is going to be as good as it is right now. So anytime you're talking to a new prospect or an associate in the business, I make sure they understand the importance of taking action today. Because I tell them there's never going to be a time as good as it is right now to build a business, to get involved with the business, and also to set themselves up for the future. And that's one of the main things that I focused on. And here in Australia, what we did is we focused, and when I was just me and a few other people that I had introduced the business to, we just focused on small goals. We set small goals to do it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. Kind of like what you guys are doing there in the U.S. Can you hear me there okay? I've got a bit of feedback now. Can you hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm still on. I got some serious feedback. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we can still hear you. We need to go ahead and mute your line.
Yeah, because there's an echo, a large echo on my end, but I can continue. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay.
Okay. All right. I just unmuted. Let me go ahead and find Mark real quick, so I can unmute you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mark.
Okay. Oh, much better. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. That's much better.
I just had to unmute. I had to mute everybody's line because the background noise that somebody is not muted was creating that background. So we're going to have to be mindful of that if we open up later on for our Q&A. But go ahead, Mark. Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So I think just one of the main things I wanted to touch on was making sure everybody understands it's only small steps that get us to the bigger goal. When it was just me building the business here starting out, I had a goal of just talking to 1 to 5 people a day, knowing that if I shared the opportunity at least 5 times a day, I was going to sign up 1 new associate. That was the first goal I had. Second goal I had was I knew if I could sign up 1 person a day, 7 people a week, I knew that at the end of pre-launch, I would have at least 90 associates on the team. So by setting those smaller goals, what ended up happening is, yes, some days I would not sponsor anybody, but there would be days where I would sponsor 2 or 3 people. And that was only because I was speaking to just a few people a day, not a lot. I mean, didn't have a lot of time to actually build a business. I wanted to see if this was going to work before I start spending more hours into the business. So by setting those small goals, I was able to, yes, I started to see a little bit of momentum where I was speaking to a few people and then they were joining the team. Now, one of the other things too, I only had 42 people on my list, my names list here in Australia when I got started. It was only 42 people. And of course, half of those people were my colleagues. They were people that I did business with, people that I was, I respected. And I didn't really have a huge list. But of course, what started to happen is I started to talk to everybody on my list. And after some of those individuals started to join the team, I started working off of their list. So my list continually started to grow each day that I was bringing on a new person, because I would just duplicate the exact same thing that I originally did, which was every single person that I brought on board, I immediately had them schedule a meeting for me to speak to somebody and introduce the business. So by doing that, and I started getting a massive list of people that I could work with, because it wasn't just my list. And the momentum also started to pick up here in Australia, because yes, I had a goal to talk to 5 people a day, knowing that out of 5 people, I should be able to sponsor 1, if at all possible. And like I said, there was days, 1, 2 days in a row that I didn't sponsor anybody. But there was also days where I sponsored 3 or 4 people. At the end of the week, it would average out to 5 or 7, and then that started to multiply. It started to multiply quickly after the 3rd and 4th week of doing those small steps. So I think if everybody on your team just focuses on the small steps, you guys are going to be able to build some huge momentum and bring in new associates on your team, and also finding customers. One of the things here in Australia as well that I point out to everybody that I work with, that the average network marketer is in that Success from Home magazine that from the March 2016 issue. And it's true. The average multi-level marketer, or network marketer, or direct sales only spends 4 to 6 hours a week in their business. Now, I pointed out here in Australia, it was even less. It was less time than that people were spending building business. So what I focused on is those 4 to 6 hours, if we had people spending in the business, that we need to maximize that time. So when I was talking about to everybody that we sponsored and duplicated, was to make sure that they were at least trying to spend 4 to 6 hours a week on their business, but we maximize the time. And so every associate that I brought on, I would teach those guys to have a meeting and get 4 to 5 to 10 people in a room. So that way, if our strike rate was 80%, which it was, if our strike rate was 80%, that means we're going to be able to build their business much quicker by having one meeting, 1 hour, and having 5 to 10 people in the room. So that way, they were having 5 hours worth of work spent in 1 hour at 1 hour's meeting. So when somebody was saying that they don't have time, when somebody was saying that, they were too busy, we're all busy. So what I wanted to make sure is that we were being very efficient with our time, and this is how we were doing it. And we would make sure that everybody knew if they brought the more people they introduced to the presentation, which, I was doing most of all the presentation, the more people they introduced, the quicker their team was going to grow. If they only introduced one person to me to present the presentation, well, then we would most likely sign that person up, but then we had to build a little bit more momentum. One of the other interesting things here in Australia is you guys are the leaders in the business. You guys have to determine who's going to step up and who's going to do the work. Here in Australia, I didn't depend on other people to do the work. I just wanted everybody to have their role, and then I knew as a team we could grow fast. Meaning, when I first started introducing the business here in Australia, I told everybody I met that all they had to do was put the people in front of me. Yes, to duplicate properly, you want other people sharing the business and doing the presentation. But you guys are the leaders. If you have everybody that says, yes, they're interested in the business concept, they're interested in introducing people to the business, but they don't have any time, I would simply make sure every new person know all they had to do was put the people in front of me for an hour, and I would take care of the rest. And I did that until people were comfortable enough, until they were ready to do the presentation. So everybody on our team had a role. Their role may have been just introducing the people to me. Their role may have been where they scheduled a couple of home meetings. Or their role may have been that they did the three-way call and I took it from there. I made sure that I got them confirmed on a meeting. I told them that I would work with them and I developed the momentum. But that's how we work together as a team. So, people who say that they don't have time, we all have a limited amount of time, but we can all build this business very quickly if we're duplicating. And so we started duplicating those things there to build the business very quickly. I think the last thing I really want to share, and then I definitely want to open it up to a couple of questions. The last thing I want to share is here in Australia, I know it may be a little bit different than the US, I made sure we focused on two things. The duplicate process is phenomenal, but we focused on two things here in Australia to build a business quickly. Those two things were out of the most important two things out of that duplicate for us here in Australia, for me originally, was making the list and inviting them to see the presentation. And the reason I focused on making the list and inviting them to see the presentation is because everybody has their reason why. The number one thing that we tell people to do is, know why you're doing the business. For whatever reason it is you're doing the business, I think I have something that may help with that. So their reason why, their dream, we know that's the number one thing, but everybody has their own reason why. And of course, for me to help them get to where they wanted to be, I needed them to make a list and I needed them to know how to invite the people to the presentation. If I always say, if people become good to great at inviting people to see the business opportunity, then your business is going to grow fast. Because once people see the business opportunity and see what we have to offer, they're going to make the choice to do it or not. And of course, like the presentation shows, and that means they're either going to do it as an associate or they're going to choose to become your customer. If they choose not to do either, well, then it's okay. We don't have to go back to those individuals. They'll see the work that you're putting in. They'll see how your team and your business is growing. And those individuals may or may not come back to you later. Here in Australia, I rarely go back to people a second or third time unless they contact me with questions or they say, hey, we're still interested. I'll work with those guys. But when we're sharing the business opportunity, I make sure that they see the presentation, and then I'm 100% happy that they now have a choice to either join us as business builders or as a customer, or they can just choose to be where to remain where they're at. Most people that's building the business or looking at the business, they need a few things that we have to offer. And that's the reason the close on the presentation where we give them the option to be an A or we give them the option to be a B, I tell everybody that choose, if they have all the time they need, they have all the income they need, and they have a plan B already in place, and this is not for them, I absolutely invite them to become a customer. And if they choose not to do that as well, then I say, hey, I really appreciate your time and taking a look at what we have to offer. And if anything changes in your life, come back to us. So that's how we've sort of built it here in Australia. I know you guys are having tremendous success there, but I hope that helps in as far as being in pre-launch and being able to build without having customer points requirements. I think if you guys emphasize the point that, there will never be an opportunity like this again. It's very rare that a company goes back, especially where you guys are already successful, and allow you to rank up without customer points. At this stage, in our business, I challenged several people that became, leaders in the business, directors and partners. I challenged them to put a little bit more time into this business during that period of time of pre-launch. I think it's for you guys until December 1. If you absolutely knew that from now to December the 1st, you had the possibility of adding another 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 of income to your business, would you not put more time into this business right now? That's what I challenge the guys here to do. And that's the reason we produced a lot of directors and partners, because I said, this is not for 12 months. This is not for 6 months. We were in pre-launch like you guys are, and we had a 90-day window to develop teams so we can be in place for the long-term income. And so that's what I really wanted to share with you guys. I definitely love to open it up for some questions, especially from you guys, the leaders on the line. Any challenges that you're having, any objections that you're having, I can share a little bit about how we handle those here in Australia. Are you there?
Hello?
Yep. Who we got?
Yeah,
You hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. This is Jesse King, and I would just like to congratulate you on all of your success, and just ask you, knowing that you couldn't make money during the pre-launch time, how did you pretty much sell the opportunity?
Okay, I think, hey, Percy, you were breaking up a little bit on me, but I'm going to repeat your question to make sure I got it right. You were basically asking, in pre-launch, knowing that we weren't earning any income, how do we focus on selling the opportunity
Right.
during that time to build a business?
Right. Yes.
Okay, excellent question. Because of course, I mean, here in pre-launch, when you don't even have we didn't even know what the product was and who the company. Well, we knew what the product was. We didn't know which company was going to be providing the service here in Australia. So, at times it was difficult. But to answer your question, how we sold the concept, we sold it for exactly what it was. It was a tremendous opportunity to be at the very top of the company and have a head start on everybody else that would be taking advantage of this when we go live. So it's sort of like with you guys there in the States, you're telling everybody about what's coming with Travel Light. So you're giving them an opportunity to have a team in place. So when we go live with the Travel Light program, hopefully in December your time, they're going to be able to benefit from everything that they've built at that point. So if they built a team of 50 more associates or customers, or let's say in this case associates, they're going to be able to earn income off of everything that they've built. That is what we sold here. We told people that, look, what our role is right now is we are building a team of associates so all of us can benefit and have more to benefit from when we go live. So everybody knew that this was, in pre-launch, it was a 3-month process. Would you be happy, and this is what we discussed, if you knew that from now to December 1st, you can add 100 people on your team, and all of those 100 individuals are going to have a tremendous benefit on December 1st for everything that they've built. So, I mean, that means it's not just you, giving your website for Travel Light for somebody to be able to compare the prices and get a great deal on travel, and they will also have an opportunity to either become a customer or an associate with you at that time under the Travel Light program and benefit, or like a lot of people are going to do, they're just going to say, you know what, I want to support you. I don't want to become a member because I'm a member of so many other associates. So I'll just pay, I'll pay your price. I'll pay the price as a customer, and you're going to get the benefit of the difference of that. Plus you're going to get the points. So I think, knowing that you could have 100 people on your team that's benefiting that way, that's what we sold. We sold the ability to have more people benefiting when you go live on December the 1st. So, so everybody knew, this here was not just a short term. This was long term. This is something that was going to be able to provide, income and residual income that was going to grow, for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We weren't selling a get rich quick where you're going to get in and you're going to make, 30, 40,000, 50,000, in your first year. We were looking at this as a long-term solution for time, money, or, when we talk about a plan B, it's just like a retirement, something that you have long-term. So I hope that answered your question, but that was a great question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Kia, I went ahead and unmuted you as well. So I know you had raised your hand there for a second as well. So go ahead. Uh-oh, can't hear you, Kia.
I'm sorry, muted out. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I believe my question was answered throughout the response from Jesse's question. But first, I want to say, Mark Hall, you inspire all of us here in the Maryland DMV area for your work ethic. You actually opened up our eyes to what can be done if you just run with it. So we appreciate you, your work ethic, your desire, to win, and the accomplishment that you've been able to make in a short period of time. We were thrilled and living through your success here in this area. So we appreciate you so much for the shining the light through our back offices without even hearing from you as we are today. We appreciate you so highly. Thank you so much.
Well, okay, I really appreciate that. But look, you, Wendell, Lewis, Jesse, Al, all the leaders that you guys have there. I mean, you guys are already doing an amazing job. And like you said, I mean, we're all fortunate that, the company launched in Australia, and I was fortunate Al gave me a call. But what I also tell people is, this here comes from what you guys have set in place. You guys have laid the groundwork for this to happen. I mean, without you guys doing what you did before, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. So thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. But, I mean, you guys are in the right place at the right time. You've done the work, and now, we all want to reap the rewards from that. So definitely appreciate that, Kia. Thanks.
Hey, Mark, I definitely appreciate you on the call, sir. And without a doubt, I know for sure, you told me you only had a few minutes and you've gone over already. Now, I'm not rushing you off the call by any measure, but you let us know when you need to go. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up for another question. If there's anyone else that had a question, please raise your hand if I can see you. If not, you will have to unmute your line. Oh, it looks like Corey right there. So let me find her real quick and unmute. Yep. And then Mark, after that you can, okay, Lauren, Corey, Lauren, you're unmuted. You should be able to talk.
Okay, thank you. And I just mimic, Mark, what everybody has said. It's just been phenomenal to watch what's going on in Australia. And I'm glad you shared what you did, because I was always wondering, like, oh my gosh, the numbers are just going, crazy. They're going up. People are joining every day. And I really did want to know, what you guys are doing over there. So thank you for sharing. But could you give us any key words of advice if we are reaching out to people online? I mean, did you guys use anything online to reach people? And if so, things that you put online to kind of grasp people's attention?
Okay, yeah, no, Lauren, that is a great question, because of course, in the age of multimedia, that is the number one way people reached out. Now, I didn't even have Facebook until I started with the business. Once I started with the company, I knew that we needed Facebook to reach a larger audience, but we actually used the Facebook for our team to grow, for us to recognize what was happening within the team, and also to provide information. Now, what I've always, told the team here, as far as using multimedia, it is a fantastic and it's a great way to reach out and touch people, but the personal touch of follow-up is key. So here, a lot of my guys who are very savvy on multimedia, what they would do is, they'd send out Facebook blasts, that they've gotten involved with the company and that they need, that they wanted them to contact them to show them how they can earn extra income or residual income or support the environment. So what I've told everybody is the invite is the number one thing for us. So if you're going to put something out on Facebook, you just got to remember sometime on Facebook or, whatever the medium is, LinkedIn, if you're going to put something out, we have to remember that to other individuals, that can look like spam, because it doesn't look like it's personalized. It looks like you've sent this out and they may have already received it somebody else. If somebody receives a call or a personal email from you or a personal text from you, it carries a lot more weight. And so in the spamming of using Facebook or LinkedIn or Messenger, whatever the medium is, it works, but nowhere near as well as somebody receiving a call from you and doing a short invite. Now, what I will share with you guys is one of the things I tell everybody, I use the exact same invitation. I may just change it 5 different ways depending on the individual, but it's the exact same invite. And so with multimedia, it works when you send the request out. We also have, I have some really savvy individuals. We use ClickFunnels here. All that works, but it is just to get them to get onto a webinar or get them in front of a meeting with you. And a lot of times when you get people to a ClickFunnel, if you get somebody from a Facebook and they haven't had a private message from you, or they don't have, they don't have any dialogue with you, even if they jump on the webinar, even if which sometimes they might, it's a little bit harder to close them because they have no personal dialogue with you. So the personal touch always works the best. So the personal invite. And so I recommend using multimedia or sending a formatted letters. We would have formatted letters that everybody can send to their database, but you have to follow that up. And I just think you have to put your names in categories. And if you're touching base with those guys, because if you haven't talked to somebody in a year or in 2 years or in 6 months, and you send them, a message about, you found something that they might be interested in, then, they may or may not get back to you because they haven't heard from you in so long. So it works. I think it's important, but I think it has to be used properly.
Wow, great answer. Great answer there, Mark. I really appreciate that. Lauren, just raise your hand if you satisfactory with that answer. She's waving her hand. Thank you so much, Mark. Mark, all right, awesome. Anybody else? How are you looking on time, Mark?
I'm okay. I got probably take 2 or 3 more questions.
Okay, sounds good. Anybody else with a question? You may be able to unmute yourself, or if you raise your hand, I will unmute you. Anybody else have a question for Mark? Well, what I'll do in lieu, Mark, I definitely want to ask you, what was the primary objection that you found folks had, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I think because we've all done this for a little while, the primary objection is always going to be either time, or every once in a while it's going to be money, but most of the time it was time. And the other one is that, and I really didn't get this a lot, that, being uncomfortable with network marketing, but it's because of the way we did the invitation and also the way, we covered the presentation. So we covered a lot of objections in the presentation. But I think the primary objection is always going to be time. I don't have enough time. And how we overcome that is I always like to get every objection a person has. And there's a couple of things you can do with that. If somebody tells me, well, Mark, I have a problem with time and because there's network marketing, I may say to them, If we can cover those two objections, is there any other reason that you would not join the team as an associate? Do you see any other reason from what I've shared with you that you wouldn't join the team as an associate? And once I know what their objections are, I cover them. I show them how we can help them with the time, and that's by leveraging it through the team, through the webinars, through only spending a few hours a week in their business, because we cover that. If it's network marketing, I give them numbers and the facts on direct sales and multi-level marketing, telling them the details about, 9 out of 10 top companies on the DSN are multi-level marketing companies. And I go through some other information and facts. We cover and handle the objections, and then you then ask the question again. So if I've handled and covered all your objections, are you ready to join the team now or later?
Okay.
I ask them, and we just make sure, you guys are the leaders. You've done this long enough, and you know that every single person that you speak to they can only have 3 or 4 true objections. Yes, one could be because it's multi-level marketing. Yes, they think they know what we're doing. Yes, they think they don't have the time, or it can be income. It can be money. And the same thing, we just handle those objections.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome, Mark. I definitely appreciate you with that. If anybody else, I don't see any hands raised. If we get one more, anybody? Oh, there we go, Miss. Just go ahead and unmute here.
Hey, Mark, I have one more question. When are you coming home?
Well, this is the plan. This is the plan here. Because we went live and we have a massive team, I told Ed, I told Rob, look, it's all about generating the income, for us. So I'm not coming. My plan, I really wanted to come back to Power Up, but we had just launched a couple of weeks before that, and that just wasn't, that wasn't doable to leave because of, wanting to make sure everybody's generating income, which is bringing on the customers. We have a few more challenges here with customer acquisition that you guys didn't have because of the length of time to get a customer confirmed. That we have a 10-day cooling off period, means they have 10 days before they cool off. We also have here the final meter read. Here you have to request a special meter read, which means it could take up to 30 to 90 days before they're actually in our system and they're 100% our customers. So with that being said, I wanted to make sure that we do a great job as a team getting customers, just like we did getting associates. So I don't plan on coming home until January or February, based on how well we do what we set out to do, which was to develop income for everybody. We want people to start making some income, and then I'll feel comfortable coming back home and doing some things there. I mean, I got family and friends that already know about the business, are waiting for me to come home, and I want to spend some time there with you guys, and and doing some amazing stuff there. But I want to make sure this market here is viable, is strong, and we're earning some decent income. So I think there's going to be a couple more months. So I would love to come home for Thanksgiving, of course, but that's not going to happen. And then I'm not going to try to come during Christmas. So I don't think it's going to be until the end of January, early February. I think we will be in position, and the company as a whole will have the success we want here in Australia. And that's, like I said, I judge the success of how we're doing on, yes, signing up associates is phenomenal, and we're going to start to pick that pace up again. But it's important that we build the business based on customers, just like we did with associates. So it's probably going to be January, February.
Good stuff. Appreciate that. She's giving us thumbs up. She's already muted back out. So, Mark, how are we looking on time?
Well, look, I think that's, I can probably do one more quick one if you have it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go ahead and sign off. I definitely, I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to, many more conversations like this. But if you have another one there, I can take one more, then I'll have to go after that.
Okay, great. I don't see anybody at this point raising their hand. Up, there we go. We got one more. So we will make this the last one. Let me go ahead and unmute. There you go. You should be good. Go ahead, Corey.
Okay, I have to make sure I was unmuted. Okay, Mark, I heard you say making sure that we, counteract the objections. Are there any books or any resources that you would suggest for people who want to know, how can we, be ready for the objections about not having enough time or not having the money, or things that that always come up a lot of times when you're talking to some people. Are there any resources? No, we all have the GoPro book from Eric Worre, but any other things that you could suggest to help us to, deal with those things that we get, those contradictions and those things that we get that people tell us all the time?
Well, Corey, that is a great question. I really appreciate that. To be honest with you, I cover those. Now, here in Australia, we have a training website, just like Ed and them have there in the U.S. that they've set up. And we put a short 2-minute video on covering objections on that training website. That's one thing that, I'll talk to you, and Al and Lou and Kia will talk about that, because that's something we did for the team. So every new person that comes on board and every current associate could go back and reference that short 2-minute video, because I definitely recommend that. I'm sure Ed and them should have something that covers objections. We actually did 2 to 4 minute videos on a couple of areas. We did 2 to 4 minute videos on how to properly invite, because I tell everybody, you use the invitation of inviting. And you'll hear me always go back to that, because that's the key to the business. If you're doing that, you're going to build your business quickly. If we put a 4-minute video on how to invite. So every new person came in the business would always say, well, I don't know how to invite, or it's not working, or whatever. Once we did that, it helped our business tremendously. And then we can tweak that from that. So same thing on covering objections. I think, I know, like I said, I'll go back to Al on this, and we'll talk with Ed. I am sure that there should be something there that's available for you guys. If not, that's what I'm going to recommend. Now, the other thing I'll recommend is, I always tell people to come straight to me or one of the other partners or one of the directors that I know are outstanding at that, because all the objections that you guys are saying that you're getting or that you are getting, I like to know them. What are the top 5, top 10, top 15? And then I will do a session on that. I cover those objections. So that way, the most common objections that you guys get is the one that should be a standard spiel for everybody to utilize, and just tailor it a little bit according to how you speak. So, I think there's a couple of ways in it, but there's no books or there's no other books that I refer to for that. I refer to what has worked well for me or some of the other leaders, and then I pass that on to people to use. And I tell people, I want you to use these handle the objections, utilizing these comebacks, and let me know how that works. If it's working, then we know we're on the right track. If somebody's saying, well, that doesn't really work for me, or it hasn't worked for me, then we may tweak it a little bit. But Corey, I think the objections that you have, I don't know if there's, more than 4 or 5, and that could, I think the whole team needs to be able to hear how Lou, Kia, Al, Ed, myself handle those objections, and then your team will be comfortable and that they can do the same. So you choose which one works the best for you.
Good stuff. I think Corey is just muted out. She gave the thumbs up. So thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate you, man. You've given us about 45 minutes already, when, originally I was thinking we were only going to get about 10 minutes. So we certainly appreciate your time, my brother, and continue to lead from the front. We super appreciate you, man. And you're an inspiration, like Ms. Kia Coppy said, you're inspiration. So I see folks nodding their head, putting up thumbs and everything else, So we really appreciate you coming on the call. And hopefully you will not be a stranger. We're not going to try to overuse you, because you got a large market you're building out there. but we definitely would like to get your expertise back on this call at a later date.
Well, hey, thanks again for having me, Al. And anytime, you just give me a call, and we'll schedule something again. But wish you guys luck in your pre-launch, and all you got to do is present it to everybody, you know. And the last thing I'll share with you guys, in presenting the business opportunity, well, you guys are in pre-launch for a new product. To get those people on board with Travel Light, you're still presenting everybody the opportunity as an associate and letting them choose if they want to become a customer. And so now they can become an associate of your gas, electric, solar, and now Travel Light. And then they'll choose which ones they want to do. So if you present it to them, they will make the choice, and you guys will build your business very quickly. So, wish you guys luck, and excited for what's getting ready to happen. And, look forward to talking to you guys again soon. So thanks a lot, Al. Thanks, Lou, Wendell, Kia, Jesse. Appreciate all you guys. And, look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks a lot, man. Folks are clapping for you, man. They're thumbing up and everything else because we got the whole call muted right now. So we really appreciate you, man. Folks have been chiming in and they've been listening, and just some awesome nuggets you've given us. So we appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much, and we'll talk.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do, folks. We had a few other areas we were going to move into very quickly. So, Kia, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to you next. I'm just going to go into real quick what our schedule is for this week, and then I'll let you go ahead and give the updates very quickly. And then if time permitting, we'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Parker for to do his piece there as well. But so what we're going to do, since I got you all here at this point in time, listen, we've got 3 primary events going on this week, team. We've got November 8th, Tuesday, November 8th. We've got Ed Kenny and our newest ambassador on the team, Mr. Chambers, will be doing the presentation for us on Tuesday. Listen, I'm just going to be 110% honest with you guys. I know Tuesday is election day. I know myself, one of the reasons I try to vote early every single election. But I definitely made sure that I got it done early this time around because I knew we were meeting on Tuesday. That Tuesday meeting for us, folks, I'm just trying to tell you, we're turning this thing right here. We're on video right now, and we're turning this thing, we're turning it up. We're turning it up, and we're turning it up for you all. And I just want to share with you, that Tuesday night meeting is everything to me. I don't know the last time I missed a Tuesday night meeting. I know I've never missed a meeting at the DoubleTree. What I do, if you want to follow the leader and do what the leaders do, I follow people like Kia Coppage. I follow people like Ed Kenny. I follow people like Lou Chambers. I follow Wendell Parker. These are people that I know that are consistently at the briefing, if not 1, 2, sometimes 3 a week. It's not uncommon for me to go and see these guys on Tuesday and then turn around on Saturday and see them Saturday. And then we're, Miss Coppage and myself doing trainings here and there to see them there. So I'm just trying to tell you folks, if you guys are taking the time to be serious enough to jump on this video conference and be on a call for 45 minutes to an hour on Sunday, you guys see the importance of doing that, then you really, really, really got to see the importance of getting out on Tuesday night. That is so important. And I'll tell you how important it is to me, folks. I paid $40 in advance. Okay, and I'm saying my internet is unstable. I don't know what's going on there. I'm hoping you guys can still hear and see me. Okay, I got thumbs up. But I'm just telling you, I spend $40 every single month at the beginning of the month. And if you don't believe me, ask me one day when you see me at the Tuesday night briefing, and I'll show you every last single one of my certificates that I have for it. I carry them with me and I keep them with me. And that's just how important it is to me. So if you're trying to get to the partner level, the director level, the ambassador level, whatever it is, you've got to do with the basics, at least the basics of what the folks at those levels are doing. We just brought on one of the sharpest folks that I know, Mr. Mark Hall, on this call, and you can best believe I took notes, and I'm going to adhere to every single thing that I didn't already know about in the business. I didn't just take notes on the new things that I heard. I took notes on everything he said. because this way I'm not going to trust it to my memory. I'm going to be able to come back to it. All right. So what I'm asking all of you all to do, I'm asking you to sit down right now, and I'm asking you to put together another list. I want you to go through, start another list at the bottom of your current list. If you don't have a list, I'm telling you there's something wrong, because any one of you, I'll show you a list with over 300 people on it. Okay. There's people on this call right now that have seen my list, and I will tell you it grows consistently. Okay. This technology, this office of mine, dude, it's a note. Okay. It's a note. And what I do is I take notes on it. I meet somebody new, I put their name and number right on here, and then I transpire it and write it down and put it on my list. Okay. So I'm just telling you little nuggets that I do. You just heard Mark Hall say that his goal was to touch 5 people every single day doing pre-launch. So that was a hint. This guy is an ambassador. Okay. He did it faster than anybody that we know. Okay. Anybody that you know, you haven't met anybody in this business that has done it faster than that gentleman that just left his phone. Now, here's the thing, folks. So I'm just imploring upon you to really step this thing up, ramp this thing up if you really want to take this serious, because I believe it's real. I believe it's real, and I'm all in, folks. So on Tuesday night, I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you. Go through your team, make the phone calls. Tell the folks, let them know we're going to be here this Tuesday. We've got 2 ambassadors presenting on the schedule this Tuesday, okay? So that's Tuesday, November 8th. Even though it's election day, that's why you got to go through and make the phone calls. You, as the leader, you have to drive the action in your team. So if you don't drive that action, no, they're not gonna know who to follow. So you got to meet your people there at the meeting, folks. So Tuesday, November 8th, I hope to see you guys there. November 10th, Thursday, November 10th, we've got Ambassador Ed Kenny and partner Kia Coppage going to be knocking this thing down up there in Catonsville. That's our Baltimore market, folks. So included on that list, you need to target who's in that market area. Who do you know in that marketplace? And you need to do what our ambassador just told us to do, is focus on that invite. And let's start inviting those folks out to Thursday night, okay? Tuesday night, Thursday night. Now, Saturday at here in Oxon Hill, we've got this thing they're calling the Director Factory, okay? And we've got the #1 income earner in the company who's going to be participating in that event. Some of the top leaders are going to be participating in that event, and it's a training event, folks. It's to drive your team, yourself and your team to the next level. It's about creating directors, okay? So this Saturday, November 12th, that's where we're going to be at in Oxon Hill, okay? So make sure those 3 days, those 3 events, write them down, folks, and I look forward to seeing you this Tuesday coming up. What I'm doing is, so I'm just ramping things up right now. I'm going mad, okay? Yesterday, I turned 50 years old. It was probably one of the best days of my life. Thank you, Key. I see you clapping. It was one of the best days of my life. Thank you, Wayne. Listen, it was one of the best days of my life. Corey and Jesse were there. Wendell, some of the team was there, man. I really appreciate you guys. But listen, here's the thing. First thing this morning, guess where I was? I was in D.C. at St. John's High School College, okay, because I got a fundraiser up there. We got solar quotes. We got 3 pages of names and numbers of people that are interested in gas, solar, and travel. And we ran into 2 other nonprofit organizations that are ready to get some more information about this. So that's where I am, folks. I'm telling you, right after my 50th birthday, the first thing I did was pack my car up and took my equipment up and set up for about 5 hours in the weather today, okay? Now, it seemed like it was a good day, but I'll tell you, by the end of the day, it was getting kind of chilly, right? My head is still a little freezing, and my wife is upstairs in the bed right now, although she is on this call. She knocked it out. I like to see her face right now. But I'm just excited, man. I really am. I'm telling you. So listen, folks, I'm ramping this thing up. All out massive action is what this thing is about. We've got at least 2 people on this line right now that are very, very close to hitting partner. And here's the thing. Everybody on this line by December 1 could be at the partner level if you guys just ramped it up and took this thing serious. You heard Mr. Hall. He said 4 to 6 hours a week. 4 to 6 hours a week. It's not the quantity, it's the quality, folks. It's what quality you're going to put into this to make this thing work for you. So you guys understand what I'm doing. If you got any questions for me, man, question me all you want this coming Tuesday. Just meet me at that meeting space, because, folks, it's time for us to turn this thing inside out and flip it upside down. So with that, Ms. Coppage, I'm going to go ahead and turn this call over to you. And I certainly appreciate each and every one of you that are still chimed in here tonight. So Ms. Coppage, I'm going to turn the call over to you. Are you ready for that? Go ahead and unmute.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm ready. I had to figure out which phone I had the line on. Got too much going on over here.
I know.
Greetings. You guys look beautiful. How y'all doing? Y'all not waving back. I see you, Adana, Paul, Alfonso. Yay. Listen, we are excited about changing this thing up. You can't hear me? Al, can you hear me?
We can't hear now.
Yes? Somebody said they can't hear.
I can hear you, Kia.
Okay, great. And I can hear them talking to me. Al, can you hear me? I can't hear you anymore, Al.
We can hear you at first.
Okay, so can you guys hear me now?
Yep, I hear you good. I hear you good.
Okay, perfect. I got thumbs up. All right, well, we are super excited. I know you guys just saw my hands going everywhere, but we are excited about where we're going with this technology. Mark Hall, if you guys could put your lines on mute, or Al, if you can mute everybody else out.
Yeah, and I think Jesse that we're hearing there.
Okay, great. Mark.
They're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Mark Hall, if you guys really understand the power that we just had on the phone from a gentleman that was not network marketing to being network marketing, and in a matter of months, he knew exactly what it takes to be very successful. And it is no different than what we learned as network marketing professionals. Al, would you agree?
I agree.
And it's different hearing it from someone that's in another country and has done this from scratch. So that guy to tell you it worked. So what I'm going to share with you guys is some updates right now. I know we're in overdrive, but it's very important. Your lives are on the line right now. We have 26 days and counting to change every bit of your life and then some. And so I'm going to do some recaps because I don't know if you guys were on the calls that we had recently this week, but is there some of you guys that may be new on this conference call or maybe getting re-engaged in this opportunity? You've got to know what's going on right now and where we're going within the next 26 days. And so 24 days, that is. All right, so right now, we all know that this is an international business, not a Maryland business, not a state-by-state business or a national business. It's an international business. So I would ask that you guys treat your business as if it's an international business. Somebody is holding a sign up for you, Al. You guys can put notes in the chat section if you need him to address something for you. So.
Chat, okay.
Am I good?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Kia.
Okay. So this international business comes with an independent contract, right? You guys are self-employed. Just know we're about to go into 2017. So if you haven't thought about your New Year's resolution, it's that time to start thinking about your New Year's resolution. This is a business write-off, and everything that you've done in the business from the time you are joined in this year, you can write it off. And so definitely take care of your accountant with all the documentation, from, everything. There's no need for me to go into all of that, but you can ask your accountant, what is it you can look at to writing off for your business, but just know that your goal is to grow it in the near future and then be able to be in a tax phase where you're paying six figures in taxes. That means you made a lot of money in your network marketing business. So, when someone is enrolling in this company and they say, hey, I'm not going to pay $299 to start a job. Well, it's not a job. It's a business, and we have to make people know that it is a business. But for those people that are taking a look at the opportunity right now as heroes and as nonprofit organizations, as we know that those two positions are still free. However, if they're looking to take an advantage of the travel light side of things, yes, they have to do the initiation of becoming a travel light member. So they will have to do that. Now, what announcement we just received this last week, how would you guys like that if you as an associate and if your members, If you as an associate become a Travelite member and your members that are, referring other members, how would you like to earn an opportunity to get your membership? That $39.95 or $99, $39.99. Jesus. How would you like to get that waived? You guys would like that? Thumbs up? Anybody? Yeah. So they came out with a program. We haven't titled it yet. They got a competition to see what they're going to name it. But if you get 4 members who pays the $99 activation and who, opt to do the $39, $39.99 a month, you get 4 people who does that, become a Travelite member, your membership will be free. So, hey, this was something we all thought about when they first launched Travelite. We were like, oh my God, we got to do $19.99 and $39.99, which I would do, because there are other companies out there who are charging $79.99 just for their travel portal. However, they're giving us an opportunity to get ours free. The full form makes it free, but it's giving your members the opportunity as well to refer 4 members to get theirs free. Now, this company is looking to be a billion-dollar company. They are extremely smart, because if they can give away free services with other people gaining memberships, and you're increasing your database of customers that you're going to get residual income on starting the very next month. And if you guys look at the video and you see the residual income for Travelite members, it's like, what, $5.40? Is that what it equates to, Al? $5.40 or so per month out of each membership is your residual income. So if you get 4 and you teach your members, hey, you can get this free by referring 4 people to a member, watch your membership grow and watch your residual income grow through the roof. So you want to market that to everyone. And what you would do now, while we have 26 days, on your website for Travelite, there's a tab that says Learn More, and then it says Let me know when you go live. If you have them to enter their name, their email, and their phone number, once we go live, corporate will send them an email, and you'll see the whole list of people you have waiting, in that portal. But corporate will send the email out for you, So therefore, when we go live with Travelite, and then they can just initiate signing up, as a member. And so all you need to do is follow up with that and get those 4 out of the way, so you will never have to pay the $39 to begin with. So that's one thing I would ask you guys to do. This is a huge opportunity for nonprofit organizations. As you've heard Al Murray, he's out there. Imagine you're a nonprofit, member of Travelite, and you're fundraising for your cause. And just by giving out the Karma link, the link that allows friends and family members to not even have to buy into a membership, they can use your link and save money. But when they do that, that new organization or even yourself will earn 80% of whatever the savings are. So you have a lot of people starting to plan trips right now, and it's time for the next year. Your conversation with people, I've been asking people, hey, when is your next trip? I'm just trying to engage in a conversation to see, how often people travel. I'm getting 2 to 3 times a year. How do you normally book your travel? They start telling me that, they either have a travel agent or they do this and the other. And I asked them to send me their itinerary, because I was sending up to corporate, xv@veridian.com, and tell them to do the comparison so I can send it back to them. So therefore, I can gain my, memberships right out the gate, because they're going to have some humongous savings, at least 50% of what they're getting. So guys, have fun, be creative with, getting your members and having fun at the same time. So what I would suggest for you guys now, if you don't have your $19.99 membership, you don't have your personal website membership up, you don't pay $19.99 a month for your personal Veridian website, please go online and take care of that as soon as possible. If you do that between now and December 1, it's going to be grandfathered in at $19.99 forever. because after December 1, once we launch Travel Light, the website is going to be conjoined with the Catalyst app. It's going to be a total of $24.99. It's going to be $5 more. So you want to get it now. Go on your back office and just upgrade to the website and pay for it every single month. You got to keep it for it to be $19.99 going forward instead of $24.99. For all new associates that join, it will be $24.99 going forward for them. So I'd rather for you guys to get the grandfather. I paid it by the year. You get 2 months free. So we give you an option to do it annually. And hey, you just take a commission, pay it off for the year. Don't worry about it, and you'll be good. But let's talk about this karma thing, because a lot of people don't understand the benefits of karma. Karma is going to be your best friend, okay? Because it's going to get people, I would say, before I go karma, I want to get at least my 4 memberships out the way, because I want to have a free membership. Then I want to go right into karma and let as many people test this thing out. You know, so when you get a karma customer, it's free for them to use your link, right? They're going to save about 25% of, you know, what the going price is under Expedia and Priceline, right? But they're going to be zero carbon travel, so we get to zero out their carbon for their travel. They're going to help you as a friend. But the rewards, you get reward points. And if they are a karma customer, the reward points go to you, the associate, or you, the member, right? What can you do with reward points? Everything. You can buy a trip with it. You can buy your flight. You can rent a car. You can cash it in for a gift card. You can cash it in for cash. You can do whatever you want with reward points. And so that's why karma is going to be elite for you, because you could build a bank of reward points and take yourself all over the world on somebody else's dime, not yours. Now, when they are a karma customer, they're going to see that, hey, if you're planning this trip, instead of you saving 25%, you can actually save 50% if you were a member. So the system is going to market to them for you as a member. And then they're going to say, to learn more, click here. They're going to click there. They're going to find out the details of being a member, and they're going to make a decision if they want to be a member now to get the additional savings. And we've seen so many examples of the savings people are making. You know, I'm seeing as little as $50 to as high as $4,000, depending on the trip. Huge savings. And so, hey, it's worth $99, and then to find 4 friends to, you know, get my membership free, or even if I have to pay my membership, it's worth it. And so they will make a decision if that's something they want to do. If not, fine. Now, when they become a member, remember the reward points. They will then get the reward points, which is fair. You want them to, right? So they would get the reward points. They would get 110% price guarantee, right? The zero carbon, they're helping you as a friend, you know, but they get no commission, right? If they're just a Travel Light member. So in order for them to get revenue on this site, they must be an associate. So just know now, when we go into this whole Travel Light ball game, we got so much to offer. We have gas, we have electric, which, excuse me, in the Maryland market, if you look in your back office or your website, you'll see the market rates for these have dropped tremendously. So we have a very good price, a very good price point for the Maryland area, for New Jersey, for Massachusetts, for New York, and Delaware are the 5 markets that have the best prices for energy. And so if you focus on those markets, you can gain a lot of customers in that area. And then for solar, you know, we're moving more into a partner approach, you know, a multi-partner approach, where we're allowing the ability for other solar companies to compete for our customers' business. So instead of them just falling in the customer guidelines of Sungevity, who is our current partner, and everyone will go through that system first. You know, if they don't fit into Sungevity, then we have ABC company who can, give them a better option, and another company who can give them a better option. Currently, we have 3 companies right now. By the end of the year, we have about 5 or 6. The unique thing about this is that we don't have to turn away any customers. You probably have received a phone call from Creus Energy if you put in a solar lead recently, or one of your customers have put in a solar lead recently, not even recently, previously, and they're reaching back out to customers so they can take them through the new system with the new partners. So they're working on your behalf and getting your customers into the solar phase if they haven't already done so. So that's a great thing. So continue to send in your leads as you normally do. All you have to do is have them go on your solar site, your sunroom site, which is gosolarwithmeridian.com/your name, however you have your name there, and they fill out their slip, and the solar team would get it, and they would take them from there. If not, they can go on your regular website and do it as they're signing up for their gas and electric services. And then we have the ecobee. Guys, we're talking about a multiple savings opportunity for our customers, and the ecobee saves them an additional 23% off of their bill. We had a guy that came into the office on Tuesday, and he talked about, hey, I got my solar bill. I got my solar up on my home. I got my first bill. And Al, he said he was used to paying, $450 or $400 on his gas and electric bill, right? And then he said his solar, his solar was $150, and he had no bill for his utility. And so you're talking about overall expenses, your overall energy expense decreasing tremendously. So, what if you didn't have solar? Hit them the ecobee. Another 25%, another 23%, savings onto what we do for them with the supply portion of the bill. It's a great enhancement, especially we don't know what winter we're going to face. If we face anything that we did last year, then we know already we should get as many people on the ecobee as possible. And I'm going to wrap up here. Just want to make sure I went over some of the main things. So listen, you guys, any new associate who joins the business with Meridian, when we go live, they will have 10 days to decide whether they want to stick in the business or not. Hey, maybe Travelite may not work for them. As long as they didn't book travel, they have 10 days to, get their money back. And so I think it's a great gesture for the company to even give them that opportunity to do that. But it's the Travelite guarantee for any new associates. They have 10 days to, get their money back if they find that the business is not what they expected it to be. So all I say is, right now going forward, you guys have a system that's already mapped out for you. If you use your duplicate system, this book here, you guys can see that. Mm-hmm. If you guys use this is on your Catalyst app. If you don't have it physically, go to your app. It's there. This book, I read this book from cover to cover, say about a couple of hours ago. And when I tell you it's the best system this company had put together for you guys, I can drop you off in the desert with just this book. And you will be extremely successful from beginning to end just by the information in this book. And so definitely, if you don't have the new associates, it comes with your kit. If you wasn't at Power Up, you would have gotten this at Power Up. Go to your Catalyst app. It's in there as well. Read every page of that book. You have your Jumpstart tear-off. Every week when someone comes to the Tuesday night meeting, we will be going over this. Because this is how your new associates we will help them get jump started in the business, and pretty soon Al and I will be teaching you, and the leaders in the team will be teaching you from this book as well. But the tools you guys have is the STP video. Use that as much as possible. Go right to your website. The video was right there with the comp plan. All you have to do is press play and get one of the experts on the line so we can address all the questions. Do not attempt to answer not one question. Just find out what they like most and get us on the line. You have the daily webinars that's going on with corporate. You have the webinars that's going on with our UP-Team ambassadors. You have the Travel Light brochure that's out there that's on your Catalyst app. The nonprofit brochure, which is brand new, that's on your Catalyst app. You have the product brochure that's brand new on your app. The commercial program brochure. You guys probably don't even know about that program. Read it, because anything commercial, you get paid more money than the residential market. So read up on that. That's in your app as well. You have the support from us, the UP-Team, directors, partners, and ambassadors, by doing 3-way calls or 2-on-1 meetings with you, sitting down with you and your guests to get them exposed, or they're coming out to the business meeting and they're seeing it as a group, or you're having a whole meeting and we're doing what Mr. Hall states that they've been doing out there in Australia, which we know that works very well. You can advance very quickly. So I think, guys, that's all that I wanted to share with you. Mr. Murray, I'm going to turn the call back over to you, but I challenge everyone to get on the phone with as many people between now and Tuesday and commit to having at least 3 to 5 guests with you. You can talk to people while you're in the pose, because you're standing in line for 20, 30 minutes. I will have my phone out showing that video. How about that? That's 12 minutes. So do what you can do, be creative, have fun, but get as many people out there Tuesday night so we can show this business model and help get you guys, one more thing, to partner. And when you see us on Tuesday, ask us about this diagram. You guys can see that? Oh, you probably can. I'm going too fast. There you go, Al. That diagram is showing you how 20 associates on your team can take you to partner, and 100 associates on your team can take you to ambassador. Now, understand this. Mark Hall put 1,100 people on his team in 2 months. Can we get 100 in 26 days? Thumbs up? Okay. So listen, guys, this is not a game. I'm challenging myself. I ask you guys to challenge yourselves. Let's pack the house on Tuesday. Let's commit to this chart. See us on Tuesday, because we're not giving this out to everybody, only for our team, those of you that's on this call. But this is all filling the dots as you get the people in the business, but you know what you need to do in order to make this chart. 5 of these equal ambassador. 1 of these equal partner. So let's get you there. I look forward to working with you guys. Mr. Murray, I'm going to turn the call over to you. And I love the Zoom thing. I love it.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, listen, we got the last piece before we get off of this call is we're going to let Mr. Parker go through. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Al, there's some questions. Can you make sure you get those questions in the chat? Someone is asking about the DoubleTree being video. That's a great question.
Yeah, I thought I answered that one. We don't video the Tuesday night briefing, but it's something that we may be able to talk about, and maybe putting it on somebody's Facebook page on live streaming. It's possible we probably could as well, maybe do it and put it on Zoom. But one of the things that we don't, I'm really curious to ask why somebody wants it videoed, because for real, if we're in the Maryland market and the DMV market, we really need to be there, folks, because the meeting Tuesday night meeting is about us building the environment that we need in order to get people signed up. That's primarily what it's about, and so that's what we're just asking. For the most part, that's why we ask everybody to come out on. Now, we got folks out in other markets and what have you. Without a doubt, I think we can make Tuesday our meeting night, and we could maybe put that on Zoom. We can do it. So we're going to somebody else's home.
Do you need?
Okay, somebody.
There's a lot of distraction. It's a lot of distraction. We can't hear you.
Okay. All right. So I just basically muted everybody out because there was a little bit of background noise in there. But so Kia, you are muted, and what I'm gonna do, because I know you got your line straight, I'm gonna try to unmute you here too. Here, Bob. Unmute. Wow. All right, so everybody's muted. Hopefully you can hear me, but that's where we are. You know, so that's really why we don't videotape the Tuesday night meeting. If somebody asked, whoever asked that question, because I can't see who asked it, and then I see there's another question: are you going to have the link, the same link every month? This is the primary link. I can get other links, but I don't want it to change. So this is the primary link for this Zoom. So this will be our link to get in on. This link right here is never going to change. This will be it. Just like we had the conference call bridge number. Now, one thing before I do turn this back over to Mr. Parker is I just want to share something with you guys. I'm going to share my screen, and I really want you guys to get the full effect of what this is, because what I'm seeing right now is I kind of think this might be very dynamic if we were doing say a 7:30 Monday night call, or not call, but video, and we do this. Just hold tight for me 1 second here. Okay, boom. Now you guys should be seeing my screen now. All right, and we're gonna go to, all right, we're gonna go to my website. And I love this. This was something I always thought. Never understood why we didn't have this way with our website the whole time. But here is the presentation.
We're glad you're here. Thank you for taking a look at Veridian International, a business built by people just like you. So we care about who you are and why you're here. Are you doing meaningful work and on pace to get where you want to be in your life in the next few years? For generations, we've been taught to go to school, get a job, work for 40 years, and retire on 40% of our income. But those numbers don't work anymore. Not for people facing retirement today, and certainly not for generations to come. That's why we're so glad you're here right now. You're about to hear about something almost unheard of, a ground floor opportunity with an established award-winning company, a company that's changed the lives of tens.
Okay, am I still muted? Yeah, I'm unmuted. Let me, still kind of getting the hang of how this
thing is sick. We could train very well with this, the system here, Al.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, that's PowerPoint, it's all of that right here, just from this one method. So I'm just curious what you guys thought, because I'm just thinking, look, if we got 10 people on here, and then we got another 10, and each of us got a guest on here, and we just come on board and we share that video right there, and then we come on back and we Q&A. Okay, and here's the way this is really supposed to work, and that's why I didn't have the Q&A up. For me to actually manage this, to run this professionally, somebody else should be there to handle the Q&A. Okay, so you have one person work the Q&A, because what I'm doing is I got another screen up and I had it full, because the more people you get on this bridge, I see everybody that's on it, and I see if their phone, if they're muted, I see if their video is muted or what have you, and I can unmute everybody and bring their videos back in from here. So that takes up a ton of space. So therefore I can't really put the chat up, okay? But if we as a team just play team and make sure that our line is muted ourselves, because right now I have to mute everybody. So everybody is muted with the exception of Kia, but she's handling her mute button. But so if we all just managed the mute button ourselves and made sure that there was no background disturbance or what have you, then I don't have to mute everybody out. And if you have a question, all you have to do is unmute your own line and say it. But if you guys can't, if we as a team can't manage that, then I have to mute everybody out, because just one person being unmuted will put feedback through the system and just kind of mess up the clarity and the sound in it, okay? So if we actually were to do this, now there is another way, because you guys actually can raise your hand in here in a certain way, but And that kind of lets us know as well. But again, I have to have all of these components up in order to see that. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna open up real quick just to see what you guys think about that. And it looks like, yeah, Wendell's still here. So I'm gonna unmute. I'm gonna attempt to unmute everybody again, and just hopefully we all have our phones muted out, and then we can maybe go one by one and just tell me what you think on that. So all participants are unmuted. Anybody have a question or feedback? Good. Now everybody's phone right now is unmuted, with the exception of Cheryl and Angie Watson.
Well, I muted back so I wouldn't have feedback, but I would like to say that I think this is very effective, and I think we should do it often.
Okay, I agree with you. I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah, I mimic what she just said. I think this is a great way, like you guys said, to train, especially for people who don't live in our area, not able to come to the meetings, you know, in the DC or Baltimore area. So somebody that lives somewhere else in the States, this is a great way to reach them, you know, on a more personal level, and train and update.
Okay, great. Now, one thing I'm really trying to figure out here too is if maybe some of this is coming from my mic and my sound, and maybe that might be some of the feedback, because now everybody, for the most part, is unmuted, and there is background noise. So I'm going to let whoever else wants to comment on that, and I'm going to mute my line out. Yeah, see, somebody, I just heard like
somebody dropping a plate. So, Al Murray, I want to pick up on the training. So yeah, we'll do our team calls. And Al, if you could mute out everything. We'll do our team call on Sundays in this manner. I believe everybody is in agreement that I think it was about 3 o'clock or so. We talked about it before here in Tay, where we could do a very in-depth training using this platform as well. And so, Mr. Murray, you want to comment on that?
I actually messed up a little bit there, so we missed a good a portion of what you said. But it sounded like we were going because see, here's the thing: when I got to take it over, it mutes everybody or it unmutes everybody. So when I muted everybody, it also muted you, and so I had to go back.
Oh.
I got chat open, and I have everybody that's on this call up. So I had to sort through that to find Kia to unmute her specifically.
Okay.
So again,
so yeah, what I was saying.
Well,
it's good.
you thought it was effective, and you were asking about, you know, I think we should do trainings on Sunday, maybe at 3 o'clock, and I think that's cool. You know, 3 o'clock is an odd time right now during football season, but you know.
Hey, y'all know how I feel about that, right? Look, you guys are sitting there watching people make their millions. We're trying to make our own millions. Listen, it's either them making their millions and you watching them, or it's you letting them watch you make your millions. You gonna have to pick. So, but listen, you guys don't want to know what I think about, sports. You may not like me after that, but I'm a big fan of people doing what they need to do to make their money. But I know in order to make my money, if I had to choose between watching you make yours or make mine, I'm going to get what I need to get in order to make mine. Now, I don't know if these are going to be recorded for training. We can maybe have a different bridge, for just the training, and then you guys can come back to, review what was missed from the 3 o'clock Sunday training. Therefore, you can get some of the things you need to do personal out of the way. But, those people that want to get online and be close and personal with it, get all their Q&As out of the way, then, join me on Sundays. So can there be another, a different link that can be, we could use for training that can be recorded, which would not take the recording of, the previous Sunday until that evening, how I think it takes place every time we record the next meeting, right? To take over the next meeting recording.
Well, this system is a little different. I just have to really find out because it saves each time we jump on here and it's recorded. It saves it, and it saves it to a spot on my hard drive, which I can't find. I can't find it. The only way I can find it is when I go through the meetings here. So y'all know me. I'm not the most computer literate person in the world. So we can sit
right
here. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
I can find it. I can find it. Like, because Jesse's been asking for it. So like this recording, it's being recorded and it's being stored on my hard drive. And I just got to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? I can go back and I can find this because it's in my meetings, but it's when I log in. So I would have to be able to figure out how to get it off of that hard drive and then, send it to other people or maybe store it somewhere on an email or something. I don't know. So you and I can work on that offline, but it's recording now and I can record it, and it will not record over. So this one will be archived as Sunday, November 6th. And I think this one is entitled My Recurring Meeting or Zoom Meeting or something like that. One of them.
Okay, so Paul says to check everything listed on your C drive.
Yeah, it's on there. It's just a little different, man. It records. It leaves 3 files on there, and and we'll check that out. We'll check it out. Right? My wife may be able to help me. If not, I'll just come in there early one Tuesday, kid, and we'll figure that piece out.
We'll get it.
Yeah,
so that's good.
You don't really have to use a different link, and I really don't like to use a different link because you have to remember too many numbers. It'll give me we'll use the same link, or it'll give me a different link for everything that we do. So I couldn't just do like another link that might, it's just one or the other. It's the current link, this link, or it's a different one every time.
Okay. Sounds good. So we have training, guys.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We just got to get a little more robust with it because I'm even told we should be able to like upload what we just did onto like YouTube. You know what I mean? So I just got to figure it out. You know what I mean? I just, maybe it might take somebody smart to do that.
Hey, when are the next presentations?
Look, Jesse, I knew that's you, boy. You always want to put some. Hey, listen, Jesse. Look, I'm going to get with Kia and I'm going to get with Wendell, Mr. Parker, and Lou, and we'll put together a schedule. You know what I mean? But Jesse, but anybody, I'm just cool with it right now. I really think I want to do it every one at noon. I want to do one around 7:30 on certain nights, and then I want to do one possibly around like 10:30 for people on West Coast. But we just got to get enough people on it, and then once we get enough people versed in knowing how to work it, it's real easy. All we're doing is press and play, and then we got 12, 13, 15 people to answer questions. You know what I mean? So it doesn't, so really, it's like, the teachers, what did they say? The teachers are here when it's here or whatever, man. You to get people on it. You know what I mean?
Here on the city shop.
Because you'll have me out here all day long waiting on you, man. And I'm like, I'll be on that joint by myself.
So we'll get a schedule together. We'll get a schedule together, team, and then we will release it to everyone. And as long as you guys support it, with guests, especially since we're statewide, or national-wide, or international, whatever you want to call it, you can get guests from all over the place on it. That's going to drive the excitement all day long in building our businesses. So we look forward to, growing ourselves, so therefore we can help grow your businesses, and at the same time we all can grow our wallet. Yes, I like that one.
So one last question.
All right.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Can we Zoom the Tuesday night meeting in so that it can go out to other people in other areas?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know about that right now. I don't know about that. The only reason I'm saying I might be cool with recording it and maybe playing it through this Zoom on another day. But I know for sure I think if we do that on Tuesday night, I think people are gonna be lazy and not come out on Tuesday night. This right here is
but this is
the meeting. This is not a live presentation. When people see this, they have questions. We drive them to the Tuesday night meeting. We drive them to a live meeting. You follow me? So this shouldn't be only in places where this is all that they have. Should this be the only thing? We can't neglect our Tuesday night meetings. We can't neglect our live meetings. So that's why I will be a little leery of putting this out on like a Tuesday night. We might could record Tuesday night and maybe show it Wednesday. You know what I mean? On a webinar or something on Wednesday, but not. I don't want to mess our Tuesday night meeting up like that because nobody will show. Go ahead, Kia.
Yeah, it's really about the experience, Jesse. So the meat and potatoes is not just the meeting, the presentation. It's really the experience from the guests and the new associates, meeting the other people in the room. And they're doing their meet and greet at 7 to 7:30 time frame. That's the meeting. That's the meat and potatoes. That's when people are making their decisions. And so, we get to share our stories with them. You got your realtors meeting realtors and your lenders meeting lenders or attorneys and attorneys. They get to see real live people. You can't get that on the video setting here. But another thing is we have a contract obligation with the DoubleTree. We have a contract until February where we're paying $300 a week for that meeting. If we cancel it, we still have to pay it. If nobody shows, we still have to pay it. So it's very important because I end up paying it when nobody's there. And it's unfair when we have that meeting for everybody on the team, in their guests. And so it's very important. Al was very good, and Wendell was very good, and Lou very good. Just to name a few, I know Corey and Jesse, you guys are doing your membership card. That's why that's in place. So therefore, we can get the there you go, Al. Show all your cards. So therefore, 30 people on our team getting their $40 membership card, which is their $10 a week for each Tuesday for the month. That takes care of the venue for the entire month. That's $1,200. Take care of DoubleTree for the entire month. Otherwise, Kia is costing $1,200 or whatever the difference is out of her pocket, and it's not fair. So what we want to do is then give the opportunity. So there's some other things I would like to do with that. Allow the new associates to be able to get their first month free, and all of that. But it's hard to do that when the team is not showing up, at least supporting it. So therefore, we can get the venue paid, and then we can have new associates get their membership cards, for their first month, and they don't have to pay the first month. And anything we decide to do with that afterwards. So that's why Tuesday night is very important. And I doubt that this video will be something we'll open up for Tuesday night.
Yeah, and I just asked that because I have a team now. I just got a girl out in South Carolina. We got a guy out in South Dakota.
Okay,
and then we got a guy in Virginia Beach.
Sounds good. What we could do, Jesse, is maybe we can do it for the Thursday night meeting. The Thursday night meeting we have in Catonsville by Ed Kenny, maybe we can do this setup there where they can plug in while that meeting is going on because it's a smaller setting and that venue is not costing us a penny. So whether somebody's there or not, the venue is standing, we'll be there as leaders. Whatever team and guests that will be there, and we can have the online guests from the different states plug into that operation. So we can do that for the Thursday night venue. Okay, so sounds good. Thumbs up. Great. So Al,
yep.
Definitely we will talk about getting that set up for Thursday.
Without a doubt. Now here's the thing too. I'm gonna tell y'all, we got to get out there on Tuesdays, man. We got to get out and support on Tuesday. I had a guy that I thought was really going to do some phenomenal things in his business. And he signed up with another travel company that meets on another day at the same hotel. And I'm going to tell you, what he told me was they just seemed like they had more going on than we did. And, so that that we just didn't have the atmosphere and we didn't have the support. So I'm just trying to tell y'all now, we can do this all we want, but if we're not setting the environment up, man, we're going to lose people left and right. And some of the ones that we really looking for, because not only are we evaluating them, they are evaluating us, you know. So you never know when your person is thinking about something else. You know what I mean? I was the second person to approach him. So he saw the other, and he came to see ours first because I got him up to our meeting. He came to ours, and then he went to the other one, and he signed up with the other, you know. So even though we're having much more success over here, I'm having more success than the person that sponsored him into the other business, and I would be giving him support. That he was sponsored by somebody in Atlanta. Okay, in Atlanta. So, you know, but anyway, he'll be back. But here's what I just wanted to share that, because if we taking this thing serious, man, we got to create the atmosphere. You know, it's just like this.
And it started with us. Yeah, it started with us.
Yeah, because I do this one-on-one with folks, and I sign people up. You know, I talk to the nonprofits through this method right here, and it's very, very effective. And I guarantee you, going from a one-on-one, and we take 5 guests, and we got 5 or 6 or 7 associates on here too, dude, that's just powerful. But it will never meet what that meeting will do out there when we got a packed house and every guest signs up because they see the environment. So we just got to be committed to that, man. I mean, Wayne, you've been there. You know, Donald's he's going and supporting that one up there at Catonsville. You know, Jesse and Corey, you guys know what it takes. You know what I mean? You guys are there for the most part. But we just got to reach out to our teams, man, and really get them to understand what we need them to do and why we do things, you know. But I think this is going to help. So
we're also going to recreate our meetings too. So, you know, we're going to make our meeting more hype, more fun, more everything, dealing with the travel. Al and I, we talked about it. You know, we're going to, you know, partner with the other leaders on the team, and we're going to, you know, really flip the style of our meeting. So you guys, you know, we will involve you once we get it down pat, and then you will see a major increase in, you know, your recruiting ratio is what I was trying to get. It would come out. Yep. Sounds good.
Sounds good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and unmute Mr. Parker real quick, and then we're gonna close this call out because we've been on here for a good little while, and I appreciate Mr. Parker being on hold. You know, I see he's been driving because we can see what he's doing there, and you know, it looked like he went from the passenger seat to the driver's seat and this, that, and the other. But so we appreciate you there, Mr. Parker. So I'm gonna unmute you now, and we're gonna go ahead and turn this call over to you, sir. You're unmuted.
Who's that?
Mr. Parker?
Oh, hey. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
All right. Hold on.
It's a good time, man. I know you might be.
I know, right? Don't crash.
Hey, team. Wendell Parker here. Very, very excited to be a part of this Zoom, this new Zoom system. I love it. Absolutely. I just want to go over a little bit of recognition here from the team. Recognition is so important. It is so well needed. And we're excited that you guys are here to listen in. I want to give Corey a shout out, Corey Spriggs, for staying focused and constantly building her organization. She is definitely doing some powerful things within her organization. And we just want to give Miss Shalisa Armstrong a shout out. She signed up Mr. Jervan Orr, which is great. Jervan Orr, who signed up Oriat Bardrew, I believe. Oriat Bardrew. So that is fantastic. Ms. Armstrong is really, really taking off. I believe she is the daughter of Miss Armstrong on the team, Miss Charlene Armstrong, which is very, very exciting. Michael Ballard, he is also a part of Corey Spriggs' team. He is in the signing up business as well. Elvis Encarnacion. Wow, we got some names here tonight. Well, that's exciting. Well, welcome, Elvis Encarnacion and Michael. Great job in building your business. That is very, very exciting. The last person, part of the Corey Spriggs organization, Mr. John Blackburn. He is the one that's in, I believe, North Dakota. Welcome once again. And Paul Vincent under Corey. So way to go, Corey. I'll tell you, man, you are a star in the making. And we need to be definitely hosting you on a call because you are doing some magnificent things. So congratulations to you. Under the, the Cheryl Murray organization, that new nonprofit which is the name of Life Journeys Writers Guild. We want to congratulate them on the Cheryl Murray organization because they had just qualified, which is awesome. To qualify, you need five customers points to hit qualification, and then on to director. So great job, Cheryl, to you and your nonprofit. So guys, that's pretty much it for the recognition side of it, and I'll just pass the call back over to the awesome, magnificent Al Mary. So thank you once again.
Okay, great. Well, listen, we appreciate you, Mr. Parker. Certainly appreciate you hanging in there and doing all you were doing, driving and all that good stuff. Well, look, we've been on this call for a long time. I appreciate y'all being serious and plugging in. Paul, I got you. Look, you take my number down, man. It's 301-440-5323. You may already have it because I put it on the chat a little bit earlier. But again, it's 301-440-5323. And if there's anything, since you're in that Virginia Beach area, right? Virginia Beach, I'm in Norfolk. So you're in Norfolk, right? Just give me a thumbs up if I'm getting that straight. Paul? Yep, there we go. Got you. So, man, take my number down. If I can help you with a three-way, or if you got somebody, maybe we'll hook up with this on this system with the Zoom, and I can go ahead. Okay, Kia's your partner. Okay, there we go. You got Kia there as well. She's giving you her number. So all of us are ready and able to help you with three-way phone calls. If you're with somebody, showing them doing a one-on-one, all you got to do is just play that video on your front screen, and then put somebody on the phone with us, and I'll be willing to sit down and possibly do a Zoom with you like this. I'll show the video on my screen. They'll be on here as well, and I can work with you and help you close them out from that point on, okay? So we're going to give you the support out there, my brother. We're not going to leave you hanging. All right? We appreciate our pioneers out in our new areas, my brother. So we got you, man. We got you. So with that, folks, listen, we're gonna terminate all of this, man. Y'all folks that go to work, y'all go to work. I'm gonna be in my office tomorrow, contacting these folks from these nonprofits. I'm just gonna encourage y'all, man. Don't just do some of the business, do all of it, man, because we're doing nonprofits, we're doing military, we're doing Ecobee, we're doing gas, electric, and solar. We're doing it all, my brother. So Don't
forget commercials. Don't forget commercials.
Well, I'm not doing it all. I need to stop. I'm not doing it all. You just called me a liar right there. So I got to get me some commercial clients. Because that's huge.
We're going to have that training.
70%. We're closing 70. This company is getting 70% of the deals that are going in through the commercial side. And these companies are excited because they are wanting to go green, but they don't have a venue. So now, all you got to do is support sending your lead through your website to corporate, and corporate will contact and work on your behalf. And we even get an increased commission with that, like Ms. Coppage was saying. So we can talk on this all day long, man, but you know, I'm excited. You guys are definitely the pulse of what's going on here, because we've been on this call now for going on 2 hours. And, you know, so obviously we like the format, and obviously you all are leaders. So we appreciate you, man. And, you know, so I'm willing to close this out unless anybody's got a comment or anything else they want to ask or say. If so, you can unmute your line or raise your hand and I'll unmute you. If not, I'm going to say going once, going twice. You good, Jesse? Okay, cool. Oh, look, good night, God bless, and we'll see you all on Tuesday night. All right. Yeah,